Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to be on the safe side, hello there. It's Lynn from the Learn English Network with, sorry, those of you who've been hanging out with me this week in different sessions will know I was not well last week. I'm just about recovered, but to be honest, this broadcast is brought to you by Strepsils. Not because they've sent me a load of money, but because that's what's keeping my voice going. As I leave the grasp of the flu behind me. I'm feeling a lot better, but really would not have wanted to listen to me snotting all over the internet last week. What a lovely description, hey? No, I really did sound very snotty and phlegmy. It was not pleasant. So, we're going to do a funny live chat today. We're going to go back in time, beyond the 7 days, and we'll see how far we get, because I really want to talk about this particular part of the live chat page, which was from Zeb 9 whole days ago, saying Happy Chinese New Year! Yay! And she wrote, I'll spend my afternoon in Belleville today. It's an area of Paris. I'll go to see the dragon dance, hear the bangers, dance, and eat Chinese to celebrate the year of the horse. Okay. I presume you mean by this you're going to go and see the dragon dance, which is the dance that they do to welcome the new year in. You're going to hear bangers because they're letting off the fireworks. Okay, so hear the bangers. It's okay, but it can be, there's lots of different meanings for bangers, especially to Brits, as you well know. Bangers can also mean sausages, so hear the bangers go off would be a little bit clearer that you mean the fireworks. Dance, which I presume means you were dancing yourself, Zeb, and eat Chinese food. And of course, the word Chinese is always capitalized. I've got a little message from 7 days ago. This will have to be included in part two, which actually isn't part two, but I suppose this is part two, leading on to part one. Confused? You will be. And let's see what responses Zeb got. So, I'm going to have to scroll up and down a little bit because it got a lot of response. So, let's see. And I think I was one of the first to respond because when she said she was going down to Belleville, I thought, ooh, photos. So I put, did you take any photos, Zeb? People don't seem to celebrate it like that here in Germany. And Zeb wrote, there's a few pictures on my G Plus profile. How do they celebrate it in Germany? And then I was ill, so I never actually told. They don't. Really, they don't. Maybe in Berlin or the big cities, but round here I've never seen a Chinese dragon or heard a firecracker. Oh, that's the word. Not bangers, firecrackers. Yay! I knew there was something wrong. Okay, so you could say there, Zeb, there are a few pictures on my G Plus profile. Okay, and I looked at the pictures, they're great, so go over to Zeb's profile and have a look at the dragons, they're so cute. Matsu wrote, that sounds fun, Zeb. I don't think we have a Chinese sector here. Any pictures? Not that we're obsessed. And then Zeb wrote to Amatsu, yes, here they are, and there's the link. So if you do want to look at Zeb's photos, the link is there. April replied and said, every year we have also this festivity in Chinatown in Antwerp, but I've never been there. So every year we also have this festival in Chinatown. You can say festivity, but it tends to be more about the routine traditions around a festival. So you'd say we have this festival in Chinatown in Antwerp, but I've never been there. I've been to Antwerp. I didn't notice a Chinatown, although I did end up in a very strange Caribbean restaurant eating goat curry. Don't ask. The weather is also very favourable today, said April. However, I think I'd just find out everything about it in the news this evening. Ah, okay. This evening is in the future when you were writing that, April. So you were fine with the weather report, which, considering how much practice you've had on the forum, is not surprising. The weather is also very favourable today. Very favourable. I'd just say very nice today. Favourable is a little over the top for just chatting about the weather, which is small talk. So small talk tends to use small words. So, however, I think I'll just find out everything about it in the news this evening, or on the news. I'm never sure if it's in the news or on the news. You could say either in this case. And it's not I'd, but I'll, which is short for I will, okay, because it's the future. Okay, you could say maybe the next day, I thought I'd hear about it on the news, but they didn't mention it. Yeah, so that's where you'd use the past. Okay. Oh, don't you love English? Zeb said, next year you'll have to, April, just to know how it is celebrated in different European countries. I agree, Zeb. And April then said, is Belleville in Paris a kind of Chinatown, Zeb? I can't remember. I visited that place during my adventures in Paris. Now I'm not sure if you mean virtual adventures or real adventures, April. And I wouldn't say so, said Zeb, even though, and then you need a comma, even though the Chinese community is getting bigger in Belleville. I always think of Belleville Rendezvous when I hear Belleville now, from that wonderful cartoon. If you haven't seen it, you must look it up. I'm sure it must be on the web somewhere. So, Tot came in and replied to Zeb's post, and I think Tot's the one to really tell us about this celebration. And went, wow, with two exclamation marks. I'll forgive you, Tot, but really one's enough. Honestly, one is enough. It says everything you need it to. We have 4 public holidays to celebrate the year of horse. Okay, so here you'd say we have 4 public holidays, because there's 4 of them, they're plural, to celebrate the year of the horse. And we always say the year of the pig, the year of the rat, the year of the goat. What's that song? It's the year of the something, can't remember. During these days, she went on, he went on, she went on, she went on. Sorry, Todd, I forgot. It's very difficult to tell because you're a little blue M&M. We have traditional food to celebrate the CNY, which I presume means Chinese New Year, and get the red pocket from our parent or the married friends. Here's that word pocket. Pocket is in your trousers or maybe on the front of your shirt. I think you get envelopes. So what you'd say here is, over these days, we have traditional food to celebrate the Chinese New Year, and we get red envelopes from our parents or married friends. Okay. Then she says, when we meet people, we always say Kung Hai Fai Choi, a New Year greeting meaning may you become prosperous. Aha! So Zeb replied, Kung Hai Fai Choi, Tot. I wonder how Lynn is going to pronounce that in the next recording. It's probably why I wasn't able to to complete the recording last week. I knew there was a bit of Chinese for me. And I've noticed there's more not English languages. I should just beep them out. Beep. No. Have you started the CNY celebrations, Tot? Have you started your... no, what you've written here is have your started. What you wanted to say, have you started your Chinese New Year celebrations, Tot? And Tot replied, Kung Hai Fai Choi Zeb. I already started the Chinese New Year celebrations and today is my last day of the holidays. Okay, so I, capital I, already started my Chinese New Year celebrations, comma, and today is the last day of my holidays. So, not my last day of the holidays, the last day of my holidays. Then Tot said, I just finished my yoga lessons. Okay, what you could say is I have just finished my yoga lessons. We often with the word just we use the perfect tense. I have just done this. I have just finished that. Happy moment is going so fast, and tomorrow I will back to work. Okay, these happy moments are going so fast, and tomorrow I will be back at work. Okay. You could say tomorrow it will be back to work, but because you say I, then you use a different preposition. I'll be back at work. I'll be working again. There's lots of ways of saying it, okay? April jumped in and said to Tot, did you have to travel to meet your family and relatives for this New Year, Tot? Did you get a lot of red envelopes? Now you see? Well done, April. Envelopes. And Tot said, my family and I are living quite close, so no need to travel a long way to meet them during the Chinese New Year. Okay, so my family, so capital M, start of a sentence, and I, capital I, are living quite close. Okay, that sounds temporary, so what you could say is my family and I live quite close. And you could also add to each other. So my family and I live quite close to each other. So there's no need to travel a long way to meet them during the Chinese New Year. Even though I only received a few red pockets, I love the meaning behind it, which mean good luck. Okay, so again, not pockets. That's what you put your hands in when they're cold. Even though I only received a few red envelopes, I love the meaning behind it, which means good luck. Okay. In fact, I would say here, I love the meaning behind it, which is that it brings good luck. Okay. Zeb then said, "And you, have you yourself handed out many red envelopes?" Oh, Zeb, envelopes. ENVELOPES. To envelop is actually what an envelope does to a letter, I guess. It envelops it, it wraps it, and it's a verb. So you need that E at the end. Envelope, envelopes. And Tot said, "Hey, hey, for me no need to hand out the red pocket yet." You're not getting the hint, are you, Tot? I think you meant he. Hey is more, hey you, come over here. Or hey, watch out, that piano is going to drop on your head. So he, and capital H. There's no need for me to hand out red envelopes yet. Okay. And Zeb was surprised. No need? Why? Capital W, because you've got no need, exclamation mark. Why? It's a new sentence. It's a question, but it's a new sentence, so it's a capital W. Tot then said, "In our tradition, for those who are single can enjoy to receive the red pocket until they get merry." Oh, wow. Okay. Tot, in our tradition, capital I, those who are single can enjoy receiving the red pocket until they get married. Okay, if you get merry, you drink a bit too much. Okay, pisculated. So I hope that's not what you meant. And Zeb caught you out here. She spotted this one. No surprise there. "I'm pretty sure you often get merry," said Zeb. "So you should give red envelopes. Envelopes." "Unless you meant until you get married." Aha. "Once I get married." Well done, Tot. So again, capital I should, capital I, give red pockets. Come on. Envelopes to others. Or when I, capital I, am a boss of a company. You'd say I am the boss of a company. Then should also give red pockets to the employees. Then I will also have to give red envelopes to the employees. But at this moment I can only received. Okay, so there you could put after employees a comma and then small b, but right now I only receive them. Okay. "Enjoy it," said Zeb. I think she likes this idea of red envelopes. "Have you ever heard of some Chinese people, for example, people working at a post office, giving red envelopes to visitors?" Envelopes. Okay. Oh, I remember you telling me this story, Zeb. Yes, about your trip to China. You were telling Daniel and I on Skype, weren't you? Okay. I see. I can remember some things. Tot then said, "Maybe this is just a gift and leaved it in a red envelope." Oh, you're getting there, Tot. Okay, we'll cover that. So maybe is one word. Capital M-A-Y-B-E. Okay, maybe. This was just a gift left in a red envelope. ENVELOPE. And Zeb replied, "It happened to me and a friend of mine when I was in Guangzhou a couple of years ago. I was there to buy and send Chinese New Year cards to France. Receiving a red envelope made my day that day. It gave me a taste of how kids and single people may be looking forward to receiving them." Aha. Now here maybe can be two words, yeah? I may be doing that tomorrow. But in your expression, Tot, it was maybe, as in perhaps. Okay, so there's maybe, perhaps, and there's maybe, as in it might happen. Okay? So, and single people may be looking forward to receiving them. And Zeb continued, "Did dragons dance on the streets in front of business shops and shop owners give some greenery to the dragons to make him happy?" Oh, there's a little bit of a lack of punctuation here, so maybe do dragons dance on the street in front of businesses and shops, and do shop owners give them some greenery to make them happy? Okay. And Tot replied, "Yeah, we are very happy when receiving the red pockets." Ah, pockets! What's she got in her pockets then, precious? I think it's a very good memory for you to receive a red pocket during a Chinese New Year festival. So, Tot, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? Um, yes, we are very happy when we receive the red envelope. I think it must be a very good memory for you to have received a red pocket during a Chinese New Year festival. Dragon dance in front of the shop absolutely make more attraction, and they believed it may bring good luck to others as well. So, dragons dancing in front of shops are a big attraction, and they also believe it will bring good luck to others as well. And Zeb replied, an excellent memory, Tot. The funny part was that all the communication went through gestures, body language. Okay, went through gestures and body language. Or you could say gestures, body language, etc. Okay, when you're doing these delineated, comma delineated sentences, you need an and at the final one, or you need to stick an etc. at the end. Say, and there's more stuff, kind of stuff. Okay, lots of fun for all of us. Okay, lots of fun for all of us. Have you ever put a dragon costume on and dance in front of shops yourself? Aha! Good question. So, have you ever put a dragon costume on and danced in front of shops yourself? And Tot said, dragon costume, do you mean Fai Chun, which is some lucky messages writing on a red paper? So, by dragon costume, with a capital B, by dragon costume, do you mean Fai Chun? Comma, which are lucky messages written on a piece of red paper, or lucky messages written on red paper. Actually, I have no Chinese New Year decoration on my place. So there you'd say, actually, I don't have any Chinese New Year decorations here, or in my place, or in my house. Zeb then said, no, I mean you disguise yourself as a dragon and dance on the street. Here I would say dance in the street. Dance on the street outside a shop, it's more specific. But if you're just talking about dancing through the streets of China or Paris, then it would be dance in the street. Dancing in the street, yeah. So, what do you do with Fai Chun? You give them to people or you hang them in different places like trees or house doors? And then poor Tot, well, she went ballistic. No, of course not! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Just the one, okay? It is different from Halloween. For audit, we would not dress like a dragon, only for the kids. If we dress like that, others may think we are crazy. We can place the Fai Chun on the door or anywhere inside the house. Okay. So, what you'd want to say, and again, just the one exclamation mark. No, of course not. And course is C-O-U-R-S-E. No, of course not. It's different to Halloween. Halloween, capital H, A-double-L-O-W-E-N. Halloween, okay? For example, we would not dress like a dragon. Only the kids. If we dressed like that, so this is if we did it, yeah? If we dressed like that, others might think we were crazy. Okay. The rest of it was fine. And then Zeb replied, no, Chinese New Year is definitely not Halloween, lol. I just wanted to know if the dragon which dances in front of shops is made of professional dancers or anyone could apply to do it. Got to go now, keep in touch. What you wanted to say, which I'm difficult to know, I just wanted to know if the dragon if the dragon that dances in front of shops, which, yeah, it's difficult because it's made up of people, so I wouldn't use which. I'd say who or that. That would be safer. I just wanted to know if the dragon that dances in front of these shops is made up of professional dancers or if anyone can apply to do it. I wonder if you're hoping that you can apply, Zeb. Do let me know if you do. I'd pay to see that. Yeah, I got it. Sorry, I misunderstand you, said Tot. So, yeah, capital Y, or even better, yes. I understand. Capital I. I got it is okay. I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. Yeah? And capital I. It's one thing you've got to take away from these sessions, Tot. Capital I, capital I, capital I. Say it to yourself 20 times and then write it out 20 times and then maybe you'll start writing capital I. You remind me of Una and her little problem with a couple of words as well. Ah, where is Oana? She's disappeared. Maybe I put her off by correcting her. Never mind. The performers of the dragon are very professional dancers. Okay, the performers who make up the dragon, I would say here, are professional dancers. They should learn how to dance like a dragon or lion, or how to play the traditional drum and instruments. Ah, not should, they have to. Okay, they have to learn how to dance like a dragon or lion, comma, and how to play the traditional drum and instruments. Okay, nice to chat with you. Hope I can let you know more about the Chinese New Year. See you. So I, capital I, and you. It's okay to write see you. You could write the letter C and U. Lots of people do. But when you're learning and on a learning site, try to keep everything correct, just in case you have to sit a test at some point. So CU, YOU. And then and then April had more questions about the Chinese New Year. She said, you can give red envelopes as a wedding presents too, right? Oh, April, wedding presents? That would be your presents at a wedding. Wedding present, okay? Present. Listen to some wedding present songs and you might remember it. Yeah, I know you don't like the present one, but and to present, of course, the verb, but that's English for you. So wedding present, present, and Zed replied to April and said, I think you're right, April. Weddings and birthdays too. I wonder if they are always just red. Has red got a special meaning, Tot? And Tot said, in our culture, red usually means in our culture, red usually mean good luck and joy. So I corrected myself there. In our culture, red usually means good luck and joy. We always wear cloths in bright colour, such as orange, red, yellow or pink, etc., during Chinese New Year. Okay, so we always wear clothes. Or, in fact, I would say we always wear brightly coloured clothes. Clothes. Otherwise, I have imagined you dressed in cloths, which would be like, I don't know, any old cloth wrapped around you, and maybe little handkerchiefs and stuff, which motley would be interesting, but probably not what you meant. Clothing, clothes, okay? Such as orange, red, yellow or pink, etc. during Chinese New Year. Very good. And Zeb replied, yes, I seem to remember that yellow is important. And you could add two on the end there. I seem to remember that yellow is important too, and a capital Y for the beginning of the sentence. There was a yellow emperor which valued the yellow earth, farming, and also the yellow river. Okay, now in this case, he's an emperor, is a person. So there was a yellow emperor who valued the yellow earth, farming, and also the yellow river. The dragons during the Chinese New Year are mostly yellow or red. I think that in French we associate colours mostly with emotions. For examples, okay, for example, single, and then you'd put in a colon, okay, and maybe a little dash, colon dash, because you're going over the next line, but definitely you need a colon there. For example, to be down in the dumps is broyer du noir, to crush black. To be angry is voir rouge, to see red. Well, we say that in English too. If you see red, you're angry. And to be jealous is être vert, to be green. And again, same in English, you can be green with envy. The broyer de noir, no, that would be down in the dumps. Or to be in a black mood, maybe. Now, we also say the black dog, which is sort of depression. That's if you listen to your music, there's a few songs about black dogs. That normally means depression. Okay, so a lot of these colour idioms match, and there are colour idioms on the forum. On the website, on the learnenglish.de website. So Tot then said, thanks for sharing colours associated with different emotions in French. Aha! So thanks, capital T. I like green colour very much. That means I'm jealous guy in France. Okay. I like the colour green very much. That means I must be a jealous guy in France. Okay. Jealousy and envy, said Zeb, usually prevent people from doing things they like. So does shyness, actually. So change colour when you're in France, Tut. Yesterday evening I was grey, which means tipsy after a few beers at the pub. We don't have that one. Don't say grey. And I wrote, have you read this week's news roundup? I think these guys were more than grey. And if you go to the news roundup, I've given you the link in the in the text, you'll read about some people who did more than get a bit tipsy. Oh, horrible. Anyway, what's the name for that? Said Zeb. I think it's suicide. Yeah, you're not wrong. And Tot replied, yep, thanks for your advice. No green when I'm in France. Okay, so, yep, capital Y. Thanks for your advice. Okay, to advise uses the S, A-D-V-I-S-E. Advice, the noun, A-D-V-I-C-E. Okay, no green when I'm in France, capital I. In fact, from now on, I'm going to say im in France when I read it out, so you might get the idea why it's capital I. Changes the pronunciation of it. Okay, for me, if I'm drinking too much, I will change to rainbow colour. So, again, this if sentence. If I drink too much, I change to a rainbow colour. Or if I drank too much, I would change to a rainbow colour. Okay, and capital I. So, if drinking too much, I will change to rainbow colour. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to you. It'll drive you nuts. Drive me nuts. But I'm determined. So, Zeb then said, oh, when we drink too much, we start to see pink elephants. You would be a rainbow elephant for me then, Tot. And April came back and tried to drag the conversation back to where it had started and said, Sarah mentioned that red means good luck in Pakistan. And again, you could add to here. Okay, Sarah mentioned that red means good luck in Pakistan too. I think it has the same meaning for Chinese people. I wonder why matadors wear red in the bull ring. Could it mean wishing good luck to the bull? That's a good point. I wouldn't say could it mean wishing good luck. Could it mean they're wishing good luck to the bull? Okay, they're wishing good luck. In France, said Zeb, we see red when we're getting angry. Yeah, we've already had that bit. I'm not sure about. Sometimes these threads go a bit squiffy, don't they? Okay, and I think that brings us to the end of the Chinese New Year celebrations and colour idioms. So let's scroll back up. Got quite a long way to go and see where the next... yeah, there it is. Happy New Year. So, oh yes, great one here. So, Zeb said, announced really, big announcement for the network, a quiz show to come in Kitely, yay! And on an idea of efl-esl and the participation of Science 24, April and myself, we would like to invite you to a quiz show on Kitely, date and time not yet fixed. Okay, so due to an idea of efl-esl, or efl-esl had an idea, and with the participation of Science 24, April and myself, we would like to invite you to a quiz show, Q-U-I-Z, just the one Z, on Kitely. Date and time not yet fixed. One thing, it will be just for fun, with questions of general knowledge. Okay, I would say with general knowledge questions. The difficulty is that it'll be in English. Anyone interested, keep in touch with one of us. Okay, you can't keep in touch because they haven't got in touch yet. So you say, anyone interested, get in touch with one of us. Alwind popped in and said, great idea, Zeb. And Zeb said, Alwind, would you like to take part, Alwind? Alwind's run away going, no, it's a good idea. I don't want to do anything. April popped in and said, thanks for announcing it, Zeb. And Zeb replied, it's exciting, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. And I replied, hi Zeb, great idea. I have some buttons that Ash and I created that people can use to buzz when they want to answer. It will show the first person who pressed the button in local chat. Let me know if you think you can use them. And then Priyanka came in and said, hello, I am Priyanka. That's a very strange thing to do. Maybe best to start a new thread when you just want to say hello. Otherwise, if you're jumping into a conversation, maybe say something about the conversation. Hello, I'm Priyanka. What's this about a quiz I hear? Something that relates to what people are talking about. Helps keep the conversation going. So, Priyanka. Capital H for hello, and then a comma, I, capital I. So it would be I'm Priyanka. Following the rule of Tot, I am Priyanka, and capital P for your name, okay, and then a full stop. Zeb said, that would be great, Lynn, thank you. Would it be possible to show me how to use them in one of the Thursday sessions? And I said, of course, I'll res the LEN platform too, which has been done, by the way. And as Zeb quite rightly pointed out, done, thanks for this. The dates and times are set too. It'll be Monday 17th at 8 p.m. CET and Saturday 22nd at 1 p.m. CET. Okay, CET stands for Central European Time. And I replied, Brill! There's me telling Tot off for shortening things like see you and thank you, and I go brill. Oh, I'm so naughty. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, guys? May we announce it in the forum at your teacher, said April Sis. Of course you can. And I went, yes, of course you can. You can put it in the calendar to April. Okay, so I haven't actually checked if it's in the calendar, but yes, please put it in the calendar. Okay, and then Zeb also wrote, yesterday I met up with Juan for our first Spanish-English exchange online. It was great fun. Juan has been learning English for 1 month only, but he's already looking forward to speaking. Okay, Juan has only been learning English for a month, but he's already looking forward to speaking. My Spanish is quite limited too, but it seems that each other level matches for a good and fun interaction in both languages. I had a good time. For the next meeting we'll talk about sports. I'd be better off learning some sport vocab in Spanish beforehand. And I said, that's great, Zeb. Are you going to discuss the Winter Olympics? No, not yet, said Zeb. We'll talk about sports we do or used to do. Maybe afterwards we'll switch to the Winter Olympics in Sochi. Okay, and that was the end of that one. So sports vocab, I'm sure if you just look up, find out what sport and vocab is in Spanish and then look that up in Google, you'll find lots of pages with general sports vocabulary, because there's more people doing this sort of thing that I started doing in 1999 now. There's lots of vocab out there, often with pretty pictures. And if your friend Juan needs some sports vocabulary, there's a sports vocabulary page on learnenglish.de. So if you want, I'll leave the link for you, actually. Anyhow, Zeb sort of jumped in with a new topic and said, that is the kind of military parade that I find interesting. Now, because there's nothing before this, Zeb, you wouldn't say that. You're sort of introducing a new topic, so I would say here's the kind of military parade that I find interesting, and there's a wonderful link to a YouTube video. French military parades lack a sense of humour compared to this. Well done, Belarus. And I watched the video, and my reply to it was, eat your heart out, Michael Flatley. And Zeb went, he's that bad as a choreographer, this guy, Michael Flatley? Oh, you need to look it up, Zeb. You've not heard of Michael Flatley? Oh, Riverdance. You must have heard of Riverdance. Anyway, amazing movement, said Tot. Just like a human domino. Oh, okay. No, she didn't. He didn't. He said amazing movement, just like human domino. Okay, amazing moves, I would say, rather than movement. Amazing moves, comma, just like a human domino. Or just like human dominoes, if you want to be plural. And Zeb went, I agree, Tot. My first reaction was, wow, that is pretty impressive. Then, ouch, this requires a lot of discipline. Finally, the army will never be for me. Lol. Glad to hear it, Zeb. Become a farmer. Much more honour in farming. Priyanka then came back and said, hello, ma'am. Okay, Priyanka, ma'am? Ma'am? Who's ma'am? Ma'am is short for mum. Or if you meant mom, it's too formal for this kind of forum. So hello would have been safer. With a capital H, okay? And Zeb went, hi Priyanka, ma'am, who is ma'am? Exactly. Priyanka came back and said, hello again. That could go on for a long time, Priyanka. Hello, hello, hello. Reminds me of that song, hello, is it me you're looking for? So, capital H again, and don't forget, even when you're just saying hello, full stop. Hello, Priyanka, said Zeb. How are you? And that's how you get a conversation going. Ask a question. And Priyanka said, I am fine, and you? In fact, Priyanka said, I am fine, and ooh. So I, capital I, and you, Y-O-U, question mark, because you're then giving back that question. I'm fine, comma, and you? Question mark. I'm fine too, said Zeb. I'm learning some Spanish and chatting with you in English right now. And you? Priyanka said, I want to improve my English with talking because I'm preparing for competitive exam. So capital I, want to improve my English, capital E, by talking, comma, because capital I, am preparing for a competitive exam, full stop. I'm not sure what a competitive exam is. Maybe you'll tell me later. Exams are always competitive, said Zeb. If I understand you correctly, you want to improve your speaking skills. Am I right? Priyanka said, yes, you are right. Actually, I want conversation with English properly without any grammatically mistake. Okay, so Priyanka, yes, capital Y, you are right. Full stop, fine. Actually, capital I, capital I, I want to be able to have a conversation in English, capital E, without making any grammar mistakes or without making any mistakes. Okay, full stop. Speaking without making any mistakes. It's a very challenging goal, Priyanka. I have been learning English for 6+ years and I still make grammatical mistakes. Say GRAMM for grammar, by the way. How do you think you will reach your goal? And Priyanka said, can you help me to improve my English? Your experience is benefited for me, yes or not? Okay, can is capital C. You, that'd be can you, Y-O-U, help me to improve my English, capital E, and that's a question mark. Then you start a new sentence. Your experience would be beneficial for me. Okay, and then full stop. Yes or no, capital Y, yes or no, question mark. What kind of help do you need? Said Seb. Priyanka went, actually, when I conversation with you and make a mistake, then you correct and tell me what's wrong and tell also solution. Okay, so actually with a capital A, when I have a conversation with you, capital I, Y-O-U, if I make a mistake, you correct me and tell me what's wrong and give me a solution. Yeah, asking which are you, Priyanka? Seb said, in the next Tuesday recording, your messages are going to be corrected by Lynn, your teacher. Thus, you'll be able to hear a correction of your messages and improve your listening skills at the same time. Aha. Priyanka said, how can I get last recording to hearing? Okay, so capital H, new sentence. How can I, capital I, get the last recording to listen to? Okay, and then a question mark to end your sentence, Priyanka. Last week recording is on the top of the page with the title 2014-0204 LEN live chat. Okay, here you'd say last week's recording, WEEK apostrophe S, because it's the recording belonging to last week, or the recording from last week, you could say, is at the top of the page, not on the top, at the top of the page. Then it'd be click on the play button and you'll hear last week. Yay! And you'll hear last week corrections. Now, click on the play button and you'll hear last week's corrections. Again, WEEK apostrophe S. Priyanka then said, are you there? So A-R-E with a capital A, U, Y-O-U, there. Question mark. Thank for information and what's going on. Okay, so again, capital T, beginning of a sentence. Thank you for the information and thank you for the information and what's going on. Oh, I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. Thank you for the information about what's going on, maybe? That's what you wanted to say. And Zeb got confused too. What's going on? I don't understand. What do you mean? And then Priyanka said, I mean to say, are you learning another language? What's language? Okay. I mean to say, capital I, otherwise it's I mean to say. I mean to say, comma, are you learning another language? So A-R-E, Y-O-U, are you learning another language? Question mark. If so, comma, what language? Question mark. Okay. And Zeb said, I would like to travel to South America, so I started to learn Spanish a few months ago. And Priyanka then said, and English, which is learning for 6+ years, so you have not learnt yet. Haha. Priyanka, it would be, and English, capital E, which you have been learning for 6+ years. comma, so you haven't learnt it yet. And then Zeb said, I think my English is good enough for travelling, but I need to keep practicing, otherwise my brain is going to forget about it. It is a lot of work and efforts to learn a new language, but it requires some efforts too to maintain it at a specific level. Okay, you'd say here, it's a lot of work and effort to learn a new language, but it requires some effort to maintain it at a specific level. Absolutely, maintenance. It's a bit like having a car. You've got to look after it. And effort is uncountable. Yeah? I make a lot of effort to help you with your English, I think. You might not think so, but I think I do. If I don't use it, I'll lose it. Yay! So I've always been saying for the last God knows how many years. If you don't lose it, you'll use it. No, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. When you are typing the answer, then I am hearing the previous recording. I don't understand that pronunciation. Ha! Thanks, Priyanka. While you were typing the answer, I was listening to the previous recording. Okay, so while, not when you are typing. While you were typing the answer, I was listening to the previous recording. I can't understand the pronunciation. So, capital I. It's British English. Lynn is British. Try to read along the messages as you listen to Lynn. It will help you to get used to her accent. Yes, exactly. There's nothing wrong with my accent or my pronunciation, Priyanka, so I can only say the problem is somewhere in your ears. I often say this to people, don't take it personally. It's just true. Somebody had a problem listening to someone from India the other day and they couldn't understand what they were saying. And I said, well, I understand everything he's saying, so I'm afraid the problem is yours. You need to listen to enough English to get used to the different accents and to be able to understand people when they're speaking clearly, as I do. So, for your exam, it's a good idea to get used to different accents depending on the type of exam you're going to take, said Zeb. Absolutely, not just one accent, all accents. American, Irish, Scottish, English, South African, Australian. There are many, many different Englishes out there. Jamaican, that's a lovely kind of English. Get used to them all. It's a big world, 7 billion of us on there. Not all of us speak like English teachers do. For example, for IELTS exam, exams, 4-letter word, you quite often have to hear people speaking with a British or Australian accent. Exactly. May be possible that if I make a mistake, then anybody correct and tell error by text. Priyanka, you would say here, is it possible that when I make a mistake, someone will correct me and tell me the error in text? If you want a text correction of a post of yours, you have to do it on the lesson website. Thank you, Zeb. Zeb wrote. Here's the link, and she gives the link to the lesson website. Click on the lesson you want to practice. Write a message which fits the lesson, and Lynn will give you a text correction. Keep in mind that it is one lesson per day, no more. If you do more, she'll correct only one of your messages for that day. Well done, Zeb, yes. They all go into moderation. Okay, every single message you send goes into moderation, and I correct one per day. Not one correction per day, but one per person per day. Sometimes I do miss a day, and then I try to correct 2 the next day. I try to be fair, but I am only human, and you know the motto of the network: we do what we can when we can. Okay, thanks, said Priyanka. Tell me one thing how to solve my comprehensions questions answers. Wow. Okay. Okay. Thanks. So, okay is capital O, capital K, and then full stop. Could you tell me one more thing? How can I solve my comprehension question answers? We're not sure what you mean here, I don't think. Okay, so Zeb then said, you told me that the recording of the previous live chat is a bit tough for you. As you can also read the text of the recorded messages, I would suggest that you listen to it to improve your comprehension. Actually, it could be any kinds of recordings. Okay, here that was perfect, but here you need actually, it could be any kind of recording. It could be all kinds of recordings, or it could be any kind of recording. I'm used to doing it with National Geographic videos as well, as they have a transcript. And then she said, I have got to go now. Good luck with your studies. Priyanka went, hello. So Priyanka, when somebody says I've got to go now, it's nice to say goodbye. Thank you, goodbye. So Priyanka then said hello, and Zeb said, morning, Priyanka. And again, Priyanka, capital H for hello. Yes, I am here, said Priyanka, and are you there? So yes with a capital Y, I with a capital I. Are you there? So yes, I'm here, comma, and are you there? Or better, yes, I'm here, full stop. Are you there? Question mark. Zeb then said, no, I wasn't. I was on a bike heading to work when you posted your last message. Are you getting used to Lynn's accent in the recording? Priyanka, no, not yet. What English accent are you used to? Said Zeb. Priyanka hasn't replied yet. Okay, and I can see we've hit the 45 minutes limit for the recording. So today I will definitely do the two recordings in one day whilst my voice is holding out. Okay, and there's a couple of important questions that I've promised to answer today. So I'll put this up on the website and I'll put a link to the second part in YouTube. Okay, so thank you so much for taking part in the conversations. Big thanks to the regulars, Tot, April, and of course Zeb. What would we do without Zeb? And thank you for replying to the different questions, Zeb. You've just earned yourself an above and beyond badge, and I know you don't collect badges. I don't care. I like giving them out. So everybody, I hope you've enjoyed listening to this and that you can understand what I'm saying. I've got such terrible pronunciation, you know. I'm rolling around. I've almost got tears in my eyes here. It's great, Priyanka. It's good. You know, bring me down to earth, why don't you? So, on that note, practice your English. Yeah, use it and have fun with it and create with it. Don't just consume it, and listen to lots of things and read lots of things, and come and join us on live chat if you're tempted. The more the merrier. So thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon in part 2. So if you honey, hi honey, I'm home. No, hi honey. If you're listening to this and you've got all the way to the end and you're thinking she's not replied, I'm about to do your recording next. Okay, take care. Bye.